wondering how I got into this mix.
Hey, what's up everyone? This is Derrick Bros with the Conscious Resistance Network, Activist Post, the Houston Freethinkers, and the Anti-Media. Today I want to talk with you about something really important to me, something that is valuable and extremely connected to the message that we are trying to communicate through the Conscious Resistance book series, the Conscious Resistance Network, the idea of empowerment, the idea of liberation from corporate power, from state power, and the idea of self-actualization. That is the key to the conscious resistance and this philosophy that we have been espousing for the last couple years, and the vision that we put forth for our world and future, what it might be. So the video is titled, "I Can Make Things Happen with My Mind, and So Can You." And how does that relate to the fight for freedom, anarchism, spirituality, understanding the world from a deeper state of mind, from a more open state of mind, a more aware, awakened state of mind? How does that all connect? Well, follow me. So I began this journey 6 years ago doing community activism, trying to focus on solutions and build within Houston. And it came for me out of an initial fear of trying to understand the world, and fear of trying to see the true mechanisms that control the world around us. And from that fear came a desire to take action in my community, came a desire to get to know other people. And so 6 years ago, this fear that I started with, the seed that I planted after that to connect with people, to build community, has grown now to connecting with people all around the world, to doing this full time, to spreading love and awareness through community building, through activism on a daily basis. So this is something that I've been able to see in my own life. Started with fear, started with this tiny little seed, and grew to become something very powerful. And that started with my mind. That started with just the idea that from this thought in my mind of how can I change the world, how can I fix the problems that I see, how can I focus on solutions, that thought sprouted in my brain, which led to certain thoughts being spoken. So going from my thoughts, my words, and then those words communicate to other people's ears and their minds and reverberating inside their heads back to me towards a place of action. So literally we are constantly creating the things that we see in our mind, whether you think about it as manifestation like I do, or simply just the act of your thoughts becoming reality. We are constantly creating. We are creators in the ultimate sense. Sometimes it seems very distant, you don't think of something and in a moment it appears in your hand. The thought starts in your mind and it grows into whatever you decide that can be. It could become a seed of darkness, heaviness within inside you, or it could become a seed that can create new life and new beginnings. And that is the goal with the conscious resistance, is we're trying to take those thoughts from our mind and plant those seeds into the real world, creating positive words, positive affirmations, and then action, positive action through ideas like agorism, counter-economics, freedom cells, community building, mutual aid groups, all these ideas that literally take the concepts and philosophies that we write about and think about and theorize with our mind, and they bring them into fruition in the real world. So you are constantly creating every single day of your life, every single moment. You choose what you will into being, whether that is the heaviness or the light. Now we can look around the world and we can see both the dark and the light, but ultimately we decide how we respond to that, what steps we take, what thoughts we have, what words we put out, and what actions that we will allow to unfold. And the more that we move ourselves to action, the more we inspire other people to action. This has been my experience in life. Now, another thing I want to touch on is, for me, these words and these understanding of bringing things to life comes to me in the form of visions. So for me, these visions are literally sometimes like pictures I see in my mind. Other times it's like a whisper. The universe whispers to me and says, you can have this. Or I'll see a very clear image, so clear that I can literally hear it, I can taste it, I can smell it, and see this possibility that exists. It's not that the universe or God or the global consciousness or my own imagination just thinks of these things and says, this is going to happen one way or the other. I feel as if I'm shown possibilities, and for the last 4 or 5 years, I've become more in tune to these possibilities that are presented to me, and I realize, okay, if I want this, this can become reality. All I have to do is do my part to speak it into being, to write it down. It helps me to write these ideas down out of my head so then I can look back at them and see them in the physical world, and then to speak to them and tell people, tell social media, tell my friends, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. This idea is coming, this is going on. And literally we're going and creating those words. More people hear about it, they have ideas to suggest and to add to it, and it snowballs, and from there it becomes a reality. So these visions for me have been coming probably my whole life, but I've paid attention to them more and more in the last couple years, and I now know that when I'm ready to listen, the universe provides clues to all the things that I need to see, the directions I need to go, and the people I need to speak to. Maybe that doesn't make sense to you yet, but if you look deeper into the conscious resistance, if you read my first book, The Conscious Resistance, Reflections on Anarchy and Spirituality, you can have a better understanding of my view of a multi-layered reality, where not only are the logical and rational important when it comes to the physical fight against the state and against tyranny and against oppression, but also understanding that the fight for freedom is much deeper than that. It's not just the physical level. It's multi-layered, and a lot of that is on what I would call a spiritual level. And we can fight this fight for freedom, for liberation, for self-actualization on the spiritual level by tuning into our own mind's power and creating in this world every single day. So recognize that you are a creator, you're powerful, and you can do so many amazing things once you choose to do that. And remember that you're constantly creating, whether you're in a positive or a negative state of mind. You are creating your circumstances and your outcomes in your life. So take control of your life, decide that you will create something powerful, something beneficial for yourself and for all the people around you. Thank you guys for listening. Remember, you are beautiful, you are powerful, you are free. Peace.